Welcome to Greenville Living Experience, where I go over what it's like to live in Greenville, South Carolina and the surrounding areas. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the pros and cons of living in Greenville, South Carolina. Pro number one has to be the quality of life here in Greenville, South Carolina. Greenville is an almost picturesque environment here. We have everything from hiking trails at Paris Mountain State Park to kayaking at Lake Jacassie to even 20 plus miles of the Swamp Rabbit Trail, which runs from north of TR all the way down to the south of Greenville. Along the Swamp Rabbit Trail, you're going to hit highlights like Furman University, Unity Park, Falls Park, and the iconic Swamp Rabbit Cafe. Unity Park is the biggest and the newest park here in Greenville. It has a playground literally out of a child fantasy. Every time I go, I want to jump on the playground too. It's amazing. But it also has an expanse of wide open fields, and on the weekends you're going to find tons of friends and families hanging out there, playing soccer, volleyball, hanging out, having a good time. And it's so big that you can relax and still have a good time with there being a ton of people around you without feeling like you're right on top of each other. Unity Park also has some shops over to the side that has a brewery and a pizza restaurant and a coffee shop over there in the area. So it's a staple here in the community for sure, located on the outskirts of downtown Greenville. Our other park in the area is Falls Park. It's the most iconic park here. When you think of Greenville, this is probably the image that comes to your mind because it's the image that's plastered all over Google. So when you look us up, that's what's gonna come up, and that is, when you picture Greenville, that is it. It is centered in the heart of downtown, which makes it a huge hotspot for a lot of people here. Pro number two has to be the thriving downtown area. We can't talk about Falls Park and not talk about the iconic downtown area as well. Main Street, you're gonna find a mix of eclectic shops, restaurants, art galleries. There is something for everyone here. You can walk along the sidewalk, enjoy Falls Park. You can dine at award-winning restaurants, or you can stop in at the Peace Center and catch a performing arts show. Our downtown area is consistently rated in the top downtowns in the United States, which makes it the heart and the center of our community here. Pro number three brings us to job opportunities here in Greenville. Greenville provides ample job opportunities across various industries. We're home to the BMW and Michelin plants, among others here in the area that bring a ton of jobs to our area every year, but we also have small startups and small businesses in the community as well. With a strong job market and a fairly low unemployment rate, it makes Greenville a promising environment for career growth and development. Pro number four is the affordable cost of living here. Despite all that Greenville has to offer that I've just mentioned, Greenville actually remains about 9% lower than the national average as far as cost of living goes. Our median house prices here probably range right around that $360,000 mark, and you're gonna find homes from historic neighborhoods to high-rise condos in downtown, to a ton of new construction communities out in the surrounding counties. Now, obviously, living in the heart of downtown is going to cost a lot more than living on the outskirts of the city in those surrounding areas. Pro number five is the location of Greenville, South Carolina. So we are located in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains, which puts us in a prime location to get to all of your major metropolitan areas. We can get to Asheville in right at about an hour, sometimes less than that. Charlotte and Atlanta are just a couple hours away, two major airports in the area, and you can also go down to Charleston, which is about a 3-hour drive from here. So you kind of get a good mix of everything all within a reasonable driving distance here. So next up, I'm going to talk about the weather, and I've placed this here specifically because depending on what I'm about to tell you will depend on whether you view this as a pro or a con. So here in Greenville, we do experience all 4 seasons, which is a major plus for a lot of people. Our summers here can be pretty hot and humid. On average, we're probably around in those mid-80s for your summer weather, but we do have days where we are going to get up into those 90-degree weather points. And with hot weather also, unfortunately, comes bugs, and so we do have mosquitoes here. So make sure you bring your bug spray, or maybe you're one of the lucky few that mosquitoes don't like you. I am definitely not one of those people. They will eat me alive. But our winters tend to be more mild. We're gonna see temperatures probably around the 40-degree mark. Snow is not so common here. If you love snow, this might not be the best place for you. We're lucky if we get probably 1 to 2 snowfalls a year, and it's been a couple years actually since we've even had snow here. So not a snow lover's paradise, unfortunately. Also, as I mentioned earlier, we do experience all 4 seasons, which means especially during the springtime, we're gonna experience the pollinating, right? Where pollen coats everything, which means allergies can run rampant here. So bring your Zyrtec, bring your Claritin, whatever you use, because I promise you, you're probably gonna want it until you get adjusted to the area. So jumping into the cons now, depending on if you took the weather as a con or not, and what I consider to be con number 1, which is definitely the traffic congestion. As Greenville continues to grow, unfortunately, so does our traffic. And so rush hour traffic on I-85 and I-385 can cause delays and lead to longer commute times, unfortunately. The city is working on obviously expanding those roadways and our transportation infrastructure here, but with construction also comes a little bit of traffic headache. So right now we are definitely in a growth and development phase, and that will probably continue for the foreseeable future. Con number 2 is our limited public transportation system here. So we do actually have a public transportation system here, but it's definitely not going to be as robust as you're going to see in those larger metropolitan cities. The bus does go through the city and a little bit outside of it through the surrounding areas, but know that the service frequency of that might be dependent upon the hours that you're trying to use it. So basically what that means is that the residents here in Greenville rely heavily on personal vehicles. So you're definitely gonna wanna bring a personal vehicle with you when you come. As you can see, the pros do outweigh the cons, which is probably why Greenville is consistently rated among the top cities that people are moving to here in the United States. If you're thinking of moving to the area or you want a little bit more information, make sure to check out the description box below for my free relocation guide. And don't forget to come back. Every Thursday, I post a new video on what the Greenville living experience is like and the surrounding counties.